Hey, welcome everybody. I'm so stoked that you are here. You are here because you are ready to create a life that is in alignment with who you naturally are. You are ready for no more guilt because you didn't finish your to-do list. You are ready to build sustainable habits that work with your personality instead of against it. And you want to stay accountable and achieve financial freedom while creating a relationship with money that is peaceful instead of stressful. Get ready to dive deep, have a lot of fun, go on an incredible journey of self-discovery and personal growth, and let's get started. Can you tell I'm really excited by all the bright sparklies popping up everywhere? So if anybody doesn't know me, I wanted to introduce myself and talk about why the heck you should even listen to me. Well, I'm Hannah, or Hannah J. I was always Hannah J in soccer and in all of California, so I like Hannah J. Or if you have 10,000 other Hannahs in your life. And here's a little bit about me. I'm a six-figure online business owner. Yeah, I am bragging a little bit. Sorry, not sorry. I'm a proud mom to my 2-year-old, almost 3-year-old son, Miles, and my puppy, Hardin. I'm a coach to over 600 plus business owners with Carly Anna. Shout out to all my 10K Girl Gang members and BMM students here. I literally love you guys so much. I also am a meditation and yoga enthusiast. And if I was your friend, I could be described as that strategic business meets like the hippy dippy bestie that encourages you to eat all of the chocolate and call me to have a deep conversation in the middle of your crisis, even if we haven't talked in like 6+ months. Yeah, I'm that friend. Drop a heart if you catch my vibe. Okay, so I debated doing like a whole day meditation because I love meditations and I just really wanted, oh my gosh, obsessed with you. I'm obsessed with you too. And I really wanted to do a meditation, but I honestly am so freaking excited and I have so much energy and there's so many things I wanted to cover that instead I emailed you guys my very favorite meditation that I do every single day this morning. If you didn't have time to do it, no worries at all. I didn't have time to do it either, but I will do it later. So you have that in your inbox and you can watch it whenever. But mindset is so important. So I do want to start with 3 deep breaths, just to get grounded and feel really good. So get cozy wherever you are, close your eyes if you want, and just take a moment to notice how your body feels right now. Can we relax our shoulders? Can we relax our face? And then breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a moment to let go of anything that doesn't serve you or that you can't control in this moment. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Set a quick intention for this hour. Maybe it's to be present, to learn, to feel lighter, more confident. Whatever it is, let that intention take over your body and fill you up. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, come back to your body. How does everyone feel? Feel free to share in the chat. You can share your intention if you want. I'd love to hear it. Wow, I actually feel a lot better. I was kind of freaking out. So I do this all the time. I do this during coaching calls. I do this during moments of anxiety, any tough client situations. I know it seems really simple, but 3 deep breaths always just grounds me. It helps me prepare myself before moving forward. It always helps me from not saying something I could regret Like a lower price? Cough, cough to all my entrepreneurs in here. This is a good one on those sales calls. Breathe for 3 deep breaths before you say a price you're going to regret. Okay, now let's dive in. So, okay, wait, sorry. Before I really dive in, I want to let you guys know that if you stay until the very end or watch the entire replay, no worries if you can't stay until the end, I will be sending out some awesome freebies. My Peaceful Money Purchase Quiz, this has literally helped me, like, it saved me from so many questionable financial decisions, honestly. My emotional Google spreadsheet bundle, guys, I love this. I will be talking about it in the presentation. Adding these into my budgeting spreadsheet has made doing money so fun and rewarding. Like, I actually enjoy it. And I will also be introducing a brand new beta program I'm starting. Spoiler, it's freaking amazing, but I will save that for the end. Okay, now let's get into it. Oh, I also, to quickly talk about the freebies, I didn't finish preparing the links because I was so like in this presentation. So you will get those freebies probably within like 30 minutes after the call, just so you know. Okay, refreshed and ready. Ooh, I love that you guys are feeling so good from the 3 deep breaths. I feel happy and energetic. I love that you feel that. So today we are going to start by focusing on creating a life that is in alignment with who you naturally are. We are multi-dimensional human beings, and we need to accept that and integrate this belief into our view of success. We're also going to be focusing on building sustainable habits that work with your personality instead of against it. I actually will explain how to create habits based on your personality, and of course, how to completely transform your relationship with money from stressful to peaceful. A lot of us are starting at the little sad face guy in the beginning. And throughout this class, we're going to go on a personal journey to get you to the love heart happy feeling. I will give you hard tools, the strategic stuff that I have developed to help me on my own journey. And I'm going to give you all the woo-woo tools, the mindset hippie dippy Hannah stuff that you really, really need, even though you might think you don't need it. You do need it. You need it. But again, it's up to you to take action. I know this stuff works, guys, because I have not only seen it in countless students, but in myself as well. I know you guys are here for the woo-woo. I made it very clear this was going to be woo-woo. I love it. I'm loving that. Okay. So the biggest difference that I have seen from people who feel overwhelmed, stressed, like a failure, and the people that thrive, that like become successful and wealthy and peaceful, are people who are moving forward with a confident mindset, sustainable strategies while honoring themselves and taking bold risks. So you're probably thinking, great, I've heard all that before. Have a good mindset, be confident, take the risk, be bold, make a plan that you can actually sustain. But how do I do it? That's why I'm hosting this class, to address the shift and create a system that actually allows us to get from the mindset of not enough, fearful, scared of risks, guilt, and into a space of confidence, clarity, and having the knowledge to make and take our own risks in order to live a life that we dream of and finally have financial freedom. So, in order to get into a space of confidence and clarity so we can begin to make sustainable risks, and I say make sustainable risks because we can make these risks for ourselves and be this awesome version of ourselves, we need to live simultaneously with the person that we naturally are and with the person that we want to become. Again, we are trying to bridge the gap between our current circumstances and the circumstances of this dreamy version that we have of ourselves, right? So we start this journey by getting to know who we naturally are without all the restrictions of who we are supposed to be. Basically, we need to start with self-awareness. We need to have a deep understanding of who we are so that we can honor that person and create habits that synchronize with our current being and our best being at the same time. Goal setting without self-awareness and without self-love can usually look like this. You plan to wake up at 5 a.m. so you can work out before work and pack yourself a healthy lunch. You're finally going to update your finance spreadsheet like after work, after you do all this awesome healthy stuff. And Woohoo, this sounds like a great plan, right? But morning arrives, you have a really hard time falling asleep the night before, so you hit snooze. You fall asleep and end up waiting until it's 5 minutes before you need to leave to get dressed. Oh well, you decide you can just buy lunch again anyway since you're in a hurry. Work is hectic and you got carried away with a million tasks. So you ended up skipping lunch and now it's 3 p.m. and you're antsy and hungry and having a hard time focusing, even though you're supposed to work till 5. You feel guilty that you aren't going to finish your to-do list. Then boom, you get your period. You decide to grab a chocolate croissant on the way home because, hey, it's that time of the month and work sucked. You get home, open up your computer to review your finances because you promised yourself you would, but you're so behind. And the thought of spending 5 hours categorizing your expenses sounds absolutely horrible. So you turn on Netflix and say you'll try again tomorrow. You feel guilty that you didn't do what the better you would do. The end. Can anyone relate to that? LOL, this is my nightmare day, right? So I also love this. Doing this is like jumping out without a parachute. Yes. So now let's look at that exact same my life. Haha. I'm dying of laughter. Oh my gosh. All my life vibes. Yeah. Hey guys, this is a true story. So now let's look at that exact same narrative from a space of self-love, awareness, and elements of ease. So you realize you're about to get your period tomorrow. So you decide to sleep in. You know you have a hard time sleeping before you get your period. So you take a CBD sleep gummy. Morning arrives and you get dressed in cozy clothes for the day. Work is hectic and you got carried away with a million tasks. Your lunchtime alarm goes off, so you take a quick 15-minute break and grab a burrito from the restaurant across the street. You finish up work and wrap up at 3 p.m. No point in working later since you can't focus anymore. You usually get antsy around 3 anyway and need to stretch. You take 15 minutes to do some quick stretches or exercises and then decide to pick up a chocolate croissant because it's that time of the month. You blast Miley Cyrus's Flowers song while screaming the lyrics and enjoying your chocolate croissant on the way home. You get home and make a yummy drink before you sit down and update your finances. Luckily, you have this super awesome app that does most of the work for you, so it only takes about 10 minutes to categorize your expenses. You finish and turn on Netflix, you feel good. So, the difference between person A and person B is not that they have, is not that they both had the exact, they have the exact same life happening. They have the same schedule, but person B decided to honor her natural inclinations, do things the easy way, and take away the guilt, right? Take away the guilt. So, spoiler, it's a true story. Person A was me. I wanted to wake up at 5 a.m. to work out and do all the things. Got to wake up before the kid wakes up so I can, do all the shit and be perfect and woohoo. But I kept feeling like a failure because my own desires, guilt, tendency to overcomplicate, and natural cycle would get in the way. I never woke up at 5 a.m. to work out. Never. I always felt antsy at 3 p.m. and then felt guilty for not finishing my to-do list. I made doing my finances really freaking complicated, like way more complicated than it needed to be. So I was always behind. One day, I realized, wait, this happens every single day. I feel bad for not living up to this incredible version that I've painted of myself. So I want to introduce this thing called the backwards calendar. I am obsessed with this. Instead of planning out my life according to this dreamy and honestly kind of unattainable version of myself, I decided to get to know who I already am. And as a woman, it makes sense to do this on a monthly cycle. Did you know that the 9 to 5 was actually created for a man? Because men have a 24-hour cycle. Women have a 30-day cycle. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. However, every person is different. We have seasonal cycles, and we also have weekly cycles and cosmic cycles, and so on. There's so many different cycles. So I want to talk about how this works. In order to get to know ourselves, I would recommend spending a month back scheduling your calendar. I really like Google Calendar for this, but if that's not your thing, like maybe you want to do it in a journal or something else, that's totally fine. Remember, this is about making it work for you. It's not about what works for me, it's about what works for you. Make it easy. Make it easy. If Google Calendar is easy, use that. If journaling is easy, use that. If doing it on your phone is easy, do that. Whatever you can do to make this as easy as possible. You're going to give yourself permission for a month to give into every desire, inclination that your body asks. And no, I am not giving you permission to watch TV for 10 hours straight while eating a bowl of ice cream. However, I am giving you permission to listen to that little voice in the back of your mind that you brush off because you're tired or antsy or busy or, whatever the excuse is, etc. How much sleep you got, or record how much sleep you got, and record what you actually spent your time doing at work instead of what you were supposed to do. Record when you felt like moving instead of when you thought you should move. And also record how you are feeling at the end of the day or in the morning or both. Above all, give yourself grace. Remember, you're just trying to get to know yourself. This isn't another complicated thing that you're supposed to do on top of the other bajillion complicated things you need to do. It's just about getting to know yourself. Lee said, LOL, my boyfriend and I had this conversation this week. I need 9 hours of sleep and he runs on 6 hours. Yes, literally. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love that. So I want to show you guys an example of one of my weeks. It's not super crazy. And as you can see, I sometimes don't record things or I forget, but overall, this is pretty accurate. I'm not trying to be the busiest person possible, but I am trying to be the most effective. And I don't make it complicated. You start simple. I actually used to suck at this stuff until I gave myself the grace to just fail over and over and over again. In truth, it probably took me more like a year to really get to know my actual calendar. And I still will back adjust it pretty regularly. I've gotten in the habit of scheduling out my week, but then also going back and seeing what I actually did. Because you can always get to know yourself a little bit better. It's a constant journey. We are multidimensional, emotional human beings, and self-awareness is not going to happen overnight. It might not even be perfect after a month. And please don't start feeling guilty for forgetting to record something. This is a lifelong practice. It's about getting to know yourself and your natural schedule. A good way to make it easy is after you finish a task, update it in your calendar. And again, no worries if you forget. You could even try setting a reminder for a few times a day. It's a little bit satisfying, kind of like checking something off your to-do list, if you add something to your to-do list, that's kind of what this is like after you do it. Okay. So you are an emotional human being, and this is called peaceful money, right? So let's get into it. Spending is emotional. Guess what else has a monthly cycle? My spending habits. You know what I realized after I started tracking my day-to-day schedule? My emotional spending habits. Fun fact, I always want to spend $200 right before that time of the month. Literally, on a dime, every single time. I want to spend $200. But 9 out of 10 times prior to being aware of this habit, I would buy something impulsive and then feel really bad about it. The guilt really never ends, does it? How often do we make a budget and then we're I'm going to save more than last month, but then we don't, because it's not just a dang spreadsheet. This shit is directly tied to our emotions. So how did I make a deal with my emotional money habits? I say make a deal because I got to know who they naturally are. My spending habits are also a part of me, so I needed to get to know them. I know you were hoping for some magical spreadsheet, and don't worry, that is literally coming next, but you need to start by understanding the source of your issues. I know it feels kind of like therapy because it kind of is like therapy. I'm not a therapist, just disclaimer. 1, but I have been to therapy many a times. Understand your money trauma. Where do your beliefs about money come from? Do you have money trauma? What did your parents think about money? 2, understand your current money beliefs. What does rich and poor mean to you? 3, get to know your spending habits. How do you define expensive? What is considered a worthy investment? Do you also want to spend $200 at Buffalo Exchange once a month? Hey friend, I'll see you there. Yeah. Now I could recommend a million great books on finances, but I would like to say to start with, if you're just diving into this, yes, Buffalo Exchange, literally my favorite place. I just found out they have one in Louisiana, which is where we are. So I'm going to be going there. So I would really, really, really recommend to start, like, if you're first getting into like financial, this whole realm of financial life, there's so many like books out there, but this one I really like for women is The Financial Feminist by Tori Dunlap. I'm going to drop these awesome free journaling prompts PDF from her book for anyone who's like really ready to dive deeper into this. I have it right here. I'm going to drop it right now. If I can copy and paste. Okay, here we go. OMG, just bought this book. So glad to hear that. Literally such a good book. I'm so happy to hear that. It's so good. I just dropped the free, this is just like from her blog, and these are the like questions that she asks through the book. So they're really, really good. I would just like save that for later. And again, to recap, we need to start with understanding our money trauma, beliefs about money, and our emotional spending habits. I know talking or even journaling about money is not like always that fun. So how can you make it fun? Maybe you get a yummy drink while you do this, or an ice cream. Okay, fun fact, and for all the parents here, I think this is a really cool idea that I just thought of and was telling Gabe about. I wanted to start making money really fun for my son, Miles, even though he's like not even 3 yet, but like he will be in a month. So we're going to do weekly ice cream dates where we talk about money while we eat ice cream, because right now he thinks everything's $100. So I was like, oh, he's starting to get it. We might as well introduce it. I'm really excited for that. All right. Now it's time for the fun spreadsheets. I love spreadsheets. I don't know about you guys. I think they're just amazing. So, and if you don't love spreadsheets, don't worry. We're going to make spreadsheets fun or find something else that works for you. Love spreadsheets. Yay to my spreadsheet loving girls. Okay, so I literally had such a hard time with budgets because I found them so complicated and boring and time consuming, and I had a really hard time sticking to them. But now I freaking love doing money. Like, I love my money review. It's become that like fun, easy task that I always want to do when I'm like low energy or whatever. I would consider myself an emotional budgeter. I value food, so we have a big budget for food and eating out. I also value nice things like my Patagonia backpack that cost $140, but I freaking love it and don't give a fudge nugget about how much it cost. And I never felt 1 ounce of buyer's remorse because I practice emotional budgeting, which means I have a desires list within my budget so I can regularly reflect and add to my chosen desires. This is the thing that has made budgeting so much more fun for me. It has also made my spending become more intentional because I never feel bad about a purchase that I was already planning anyway. I also have an emotional section in my budget so I can reflect on past purchases and see how I feel about them. Spreadsheets are life. Yes, spreadsheets are, I love spreadsheets. Okay. I feel like, so I can blah, 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 feel about them. This is something I used to do in the very beginning and less now because I feel very intentional about my spending and I don't need it as much. However, I always keep the spreadsheet like in my budgeting bundle just because like, what if I need it? What if I need to review? What if I'm feeling weird? You know, you never know. Again, we're constantly evolving. Lastly, apps. Guys, modern technology is amazing. I'm talking to all of you awesome people on this Zoom from all these different spots, like traveling the world with my family, working online, being the sole provider, like having so much fun. Technology is really cool. I love it. So we don't need to overcomplicate this. When I first started budgeting, I literally wrote down and categorized every single expense, and it would take freaking forever. I didn't even know if it was that beneficial because it took so long that I was always behind on my money tracking. So now I do review and categorize every single expense, don't get me wrong, but it takes me like 5 to 10 minutes because I use this awesome Google spreadsheet extension called Tiller. If you like spreadsheets, you will love Tiller. Guys, this is so cheap also compared to other money management stuff, and I've literally tried every single one. It's only like $70 a year, which is a billion times cheaper than literally every other financial budgeting app I have used. And believe me, when I say I've used them all, I literally love Tiller and have genuinely never enjoyed budgeting more. It also comes with like a whole community, and it has templates and that are already created, and you can also like adjust the templates and like change the colors, and I love that. And it links with all of your accounts, and then you can play with it and make it unique and fun to you. If you don't get it now, I seriously love it. Like, it's amazing. Also, if you use my link, you can save $10, so I will drop it in here. But if you want a free version to get started with budgeting, I would also recommend Mint. Mint's really cool. I like Mint. I love Mint. I still use Mint. But the thing is, it's not very interactive, and I don't really have control over the settings. And it's a little bit easy to just kind of set it and forget it, which is the exact opposite of what we want to do. We want to be aware of our money. We don't want to just set it and forget it. So I didn't really see myself having much growth with it, but I still think it's a great start. Like, if you're just getting into this, great start. Okay. So I am a very visual human, so I wanted to show you guys some visual peeks at what the emotional spreadsheet looks like. And if you stay till the end, I will be sending you the emotional budget template for free, so you will get this. So how to use it is, one, you can use the free template that I send you, and you can just like manually record the expenses. This is the more difficult option, so I don't totally recommend doing it like this way, unless like that's your thing. Or copy and paste. This is another option, is you can copy and paste this into your expenses into the sheet and then insert a row for emotions. Again, that's easier, less work for us. My favorite option is, if you do decide to download Tiller, you can start inserting a row into the spreadsheet template that Tiller comes with. This is what it looks like, but a little less colorful, because I like to make things colorful because I want it to be fun, and have expenses be updated automatically. So then your only job is to categorize them and select an emotion. That's my preferred option because it's just easier. I also would recommend customizing it to you and making it fun and colorful, because the more fun you make these things, the easier it is to do the work on. So obviously I'm sharing my entire life. This is literally like straight out of my budget and purchases. And you can see like the feelings. I have like happy, that says and then a dash, could be cheaper. So like there's definitely those things, like the loan payment, insurance. Then there's just things I don't really care about. I'm like, okay, I just feel neutral about that. Then there's things that make me happy, like groceries and like, and then there's like fees that I pay. So I categorized it as bad, and / anxiety is the part you can't see because it literally gives me anxiety. Because again, spending is emotional. All right, let's dive into the other one. So this is my personal favorite spreadsheet, the desire spreadsheet. Again, you will get this template if you stay until the very end, and this template is just come as is. You don't need any app with it. You just take it and use it and love it and enjoy it and dress it up to live your dream lifestyle. You will get this at the end. I love this one because it keeps me super motivated to work on my finances and strive for my goals. This one is really easy to use. Like, first, you literally just download the template, copy and paste it into the spreadsheet, or copy and paste the spreadsheet into a tab within your budget. Again, I really would say to put this in your budget. Like, in Google Spreadsheet, you can have the multiple tabs on the bottom. Make this a tab in the spreadsheet, so anytime you go to do your finances, you have this really fun desires, goals list to look at to keep you motivated and excited and happy. I love it. Okay, my favorite part. Customizing it. You can create your own categories. I have one for like everyone in the household, our dog, Miles, Gabe, and then for each person within our household, like you could do yours differently depending on your needs. I also have one for like family, like big home goals. You can kind of see it on the side: home, family, Gabe, Miles, Hannah. And then I put like, is it subscription, multiple payments? When can I get it? Can I write this off as a business expense? How much does it cost? And then I will sometimes also add like the link to like just purchase it. Again, because it kind of gives me, okay, so remember how I said I like to spend $200 when I get my period? This helps me because I can look at this and be like, okay, if I'm going to spend that $200, I'm going to be intentional about it, and I'm going to pick out something from this spreadsheet so I feel really, really good about it. Or if I can't spend something right that moment, I'll add it to the spreadsheet, and just like clicking and moving it and putting it in this place where it lives makes it like, it's almost like as gratifying as buying it. Obviously not, but it's there. Okay, now that we have all of these super awesome tools and we're starting to understand how to integrate the current you with the best you while developing a peaceful relationship with money, how the heck do you stay accountable and actually make it happen, right? Like there's all these great things, but that's not what we're here for. We want to make it happen. Terry said, I'm learning how to be tech savvy. Is this new? Is this user friendly? Yeah, this is totally the desire spreadsheet. I would say if you're not super tech savvy, start with the desire spreadsheet. And then maybe just in a journal, write your purchases and like write down how you feel about each purchase. That's like that's how I started for like very, very beginning when I first started. And then download Mint. It's free and it's just like an easy way to get started. I would say the desire spreadsheet is perfect because it's just as it is. And then you can just adjust it by like, I'll do a little, like, I'll send out a little video on how to adjust it too for anybody who wants a little more in depth on that. Okay, how the heck do we stay accountable and actually make it happen, right? So I went from a 17K business in 2021 to a 100K business in 2022. This is obviously a huge jump. What did I do? I fired my friends and I meditated every single day. So I want to dive into this a little bit more, obviously. Keeping yourself accountable is hard. So I want to share some of the things I did that helped me go from the 17K to the 100K business in 2022, just 1 year later. And this isn't all about like scaling, making a lot of money or anything like that, but it is about feeling really good about it. And that's what I'm talking about today. So what helped me make these shifts that was such a growth, like within such a short amount of time? That's kind of the main nugget I want to talk about. Well, it was an accumulation of years in business, among other things, but the main two things were that I fired my friends and I meditated every single day. I know that's a big thing to do, but this is called peaceful money, not easy money. So let's dive into this a little bit more. Did you know that 80% of your success is determined by the people that you surround yourself with? 80 freaking percent, people. That is a big number. That is a lot. So basically, if you do everything right and everything amazing, but the people you're hanging out with literally just suck the life out of you, you're only going to get 20% of the way there. Let's just let that sink in real quick. I was freaking flabbergasted, blown on the floor, dead when I figured this out. I was like, are you shitting me right now? Like all this I've been doing for years and years is like only getting me part of the way there. So it is literally all about the community that you put yourself in. I consider myself to be a very loving, open-minded person. And honestly, I sometimes have some people pleaser tendencies. So firing friends was not easy, but it was something I knew I needed to do. No, I did not write them an official firing letter. It was more like a text. I did fire 3 friends at the end of 2021. I'm not saying go unfriend your besties. No, no, no. I am so close with many people. I am challenging you to ask yourself this one big question. Does this person give me energy when I am with them or take it away? Like when I am hanging out with this human being, do they make me feel alive or exhausted? If it's exhausted, then maybe it's time for you to fire them. If you don't fire them, you will probably never meet the best version of yourself. So now let's talk about mindset. Remember in the very beginning when I said I was going to tell you how to get from a space of fear to a space of peace so you can take those necessary sustainable risks and become the best version of you? Well, after you fire friends, you better make sure you become the kind of friend that you wouldn't want to fire, right? What kind of friend would the best you be surrounded by? Is it a chill mom who is an open-minded person who loves reading Sarah J. Maas books and talking about business while doing yoga and sipping wine on the weekend? I know that was very specific. Obviously, I would love to hang out with that person. Focus on becoming that person's friend. You give what you get. You really give what you get. For me, meditating really, really, really helped. I personally have a really hard time sitting still and clearing my mind. So I was stoked when I was introduced to transcendent meditations. How many of you have heard of a transcendent meditation? You can drop it in the chat. Yes. Ooh, I see the head shaking. Oh, I love that. Me. Woohoo. I love it. Okay, so I was introduced to this concept from Vishen Lakhiani. Shout out to my Uncle Jay for introducing me to this guy. This type of meditation feels like an evolution of emotions that ultimately helps you. I do mine every day. Yay, Alia! Okay, so this helps you manifest your dream. Vision has an incredible one called the 6-phase meditation. I started doing 6-phase meditation about 2 years ago when my uncle sent it to me, and I have listened to it almost every day since. You can listen to it for free on Spotify or YouTube. That's the meditation that I sent you guys this morning, so you do have that in your email. I will drop the YouTube and Spotify in the chat just so you have it again. Yoga and walking are also forms of meditation. Sometimes I do this while walking or driving to work. Sometimes I listen to, listen to the meditation while doing yoga. Again, whatever you need is fine. This is for you. This was one of the fundamental ways that I did shift my own mindset. A few other ways are journaling and books. Like I was just saying, I love books, but if you're not a big reader, try listening to audiobooks or watching documentaries. Again, it is about figuring out what works for you and then finding a way to make it easy and fun. Okay. Lastly, it can be hard. Oh, wait, I don't know if this is last. Maybe not. It can be hard to put yourself out there. I get it. Some of the things that have helped me cultivate a confident mindset in the areas I seek to improve are by joining a community of like-minded individuals, taking a class, or investing in a new program. When I studied abroad in Greece, I had a community of 6 friends I was learning about a brand new culture with, a yoga trainer I admired, and teachers that made journaling, reading, and learning just really fun and easy and relatable, and putting myself in a new environment with a sisterhood of supporters and teachers that I respected. Turned this trip into a time of propelled growth in all areas of my life. If you're a busy mom or trying to run a business or both, no worries, because you can pretty much find a coach or consulting for anything online. When I was pregnant mid-pandemic, I experienced incredible business growth when I joined the 10KGG Mastermind with Carliana and had a community of, again, like-minded individuals who were striving toward that same 10K goal. Community creates results. So, to recap, in order to achieve peaceful money, we need to become someone who takes confident, sustainable risks. We become this person by learning how to live simultaneously with the person we naturally are and with the person we want to become. So in order to bridge this gap, we need a greater sense of self-awareness. Along the journey, remember to honor yourself, make it easy, and replace guilt with intention. A few tools to get started are by practicing the backwards calendar and emotional budgeting. The best way to stay accountable is by auditing the community you surround yourself with while developing your own mindset. And the most efficient way to do this is by becoming a part of a community of like-minded individuals. I love this quote. She remembered who she was, and the game changed. I want to remind you all that you have limitless potential within you if you choose to explore it. Remember who you are. Seize your moments. Continuously learn. Continuously love. Continuously live. As you can all tell, I am incredibly passionate about personal growth, and I see it as this completely unique and ever-evolving journey. I have been working and coaching like 600 plus business owners over the last couple of years alongside Carliana, and I see people fail and succeed. The thing is, it's not just about business. It's not just about business strategies, but it is about shifting. It's about shifting your perspective and recognizing that you are this incredible, multidimensional human being that has so much to offer the world. You are your business, your health, your career, your habits, your desires. You have lived through a struggle and developed a perspective that somebody needs to hear. I want to help you unlock that person. So here's where I present this new program. So we have reached the end, and in one moment after I present this, I will be sharing those freebies with everybody. So all of this is why I have created the Peaceful Money Club. In this club, you will embrace the perfect blend of firm yet caring discipline as I guide you toward creating the best version of yourself. You will indulge in chocolate-filled diets while building a bank account that's absolutely busted, alongside a community of like-minded individuals. And we will make it super freaking fun, guys. This is a 3-month Goal Propeller program to help you go from stressed to peaceful in your financial, personal, and health habits. I'm going to help you create a sustainable plan and keep you accountable to sticking to your goals. You got the dream and the drive, but now it's time to create the direction with an expert, stay committed with a community, and finally see results. You will learn to address your finances from a space of abundance, create a routine that leaves you feeling fulfilled instead of guilty, and bridge the gap between the current you and the best version of you alongside a squad of awesome humans.